I'm delighted to welcome a couple of fantastic panellists here today. So I have Gavin Dimmock and Derren Nisbet. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Thank you. I guess it'd be good to do a quick introduction, maybe your current role and a little bit about your experience. So maybe start with you, Derren.
Great. I'm Derren Nisbet. I started my sales career right out of university at a company called Ceridian, and then went to PTC, which is kind of a tough sales school. Founders of Medic, people will know that. I ended up at Oracle, spent 10 years there, thoroughly enjoyed that. And I'm currently chief executive at Virtuoso, a QA and testing company.
Brilliant. Thank you. And Gavin.
Gavin Dimmock. I'm Chief Revenue Officer at a Norwegian private equity-owned organisation called Paperfly. I too have had a long career in Oracle, just about 20 years. I've done a number of private equity portfolio leadership roles and founded a European business for a US software company as well that's VC backed. So probably so far as this conversation's concerned, used too many tools I'd like to mention, but happy to share experiences.
Perfect. Thank you both. And yeah, that experience is what I want to get into now. So I guess my first question to sort of kick off the conversation, what do you think the biggest obstacles are and challenges that you've seen for sales teams when working with sort of CRM, CX applications?
Okay.
I'd put it under an umbrella of it's just got to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
And that usefulness got to serve many masters. But I'd probably break it down into two things. One, it's got to be usable. There's no point having a tool that nobody really wants to use and kind of all of the UX experience and CX experience that goes with that. And the second thing is it's got to be able to have accurate data. And that level of data quality has, if it's not there, rubbish in, rubbish out, which kind of reminds me of a wonderful phrase from one of my favorite films that Mark Twain quotes at the beginning of a film called The Big Short, which is, it's not what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. And that's generally around the data.
Mm-hmm.
So it's critical that that's accurate. So those two things for me.
Great, yeah, and I can see how they're linked. Yeah, if a tool's not useful, then the data's,
Yeah, it's just never going to be.
Derren, any thoughts?
I think CRM evolved through into CX, and there's a lot of stakeholders involved in it today, whereas it used to be just a tool for salespeople to help them do their job. The world changed. We suddenly have alliances, we have finance, we have RevOps, sales ops, customer success, customer enablement, all these people want you to pull from your CX, your CRM system, and therefore it's become incredibly complex. And we've probably lost sight of what it was targeted to do to start with, which is help salespeople sell. And I'd probably ask people who are looking for a new solution today, how often or how important are the salespeople's perspective on that? There's probably lots of stakeholders buying, but really they lose sight of the people that put the data in that's really useful.
And it should be the first app you open up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Monday morning through to Friday morning, it needs to be the first app because that's the thing about your customers and your prospects. Forget email or Slack or anything else. Get into the guts of that.
What do you think some of the reasons are why this hasn't happened? Why salespeople aren't using CRM every day, or why there are these obstacles? And
I don't think the salesperson gets enough out of them.
Mm.
I think fundamentally people won't use something unless they feel it's of benefit to them. And then the second aspect is a lot of the time it feels like people are just marking their work. Right, have you done this? Have you done that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Only today I put in a diary entry into all the salespeople at Virtuoso's diary to say, update your forecast for this quarter. Feels a bit dictatorial. So unless the salesperson's getting benefit and it's useful, they probably won't want to use it.
I think just to build on that, it's from a sales rep's perspective seen as a management inspection tool. for all of these reasons. And I've been as guilty as anybody about kind of, to building that myth as well. So it's coming back to that usefulness, and it's no longer, CRM in the past was a look in the rearview mirror of what happened. It was just a record of what happened. I went to see a customer, they bought this product, whatever it was. It's all in the past. And the smart managers and the smart sales reps, as well as being able to make sure the data's, clean, healthy, sufficient, so that we can achieve what we need to for our customers, is that it's captures now everything. And the right CRM system or CX system should be able to capture everything from that prospect experience all the way through to that renewal experience on that customer journey. So what happened in the past, but also importantly, what's going to happen in the future with whatever degree of predictability. And I think that's where the smart people engage with it. And to do that, you've got to have a sophisticated, usable tool.
There's another aspect to that as well, just building on that, what Gavin just said. We have entrants into the workplace today who are very familiar with very usable devices and applications. They don't want to use legacy applications that are clunky and difficult to use. They want something intuitive that they like to use and they get something back. They're also pretty fickle, consumers today, because consumers are now in the B2B place. And what they will do is they'll choose what's best for them. And they'll want to use other tools around it and integrate easily, etc. If you lose that, actually the market, the entrance into the workplace today, you're going to use all usability from your CRM system, because you aren't going to get any data that's useful in there.
And as a CRO, when you join a new company, the first thing you do, go, let me take a look at the CRM. And if that's not the same as the one that you're used to, you might want to throw that out and replace it. And you're only going to replace it because you can't maximize the use of it. It's not familiar, it's not usable, and it's not intuitive.
Yeah.
And that's quite often a scenario we get into as well.
And so the couple of things I noted there. So if something's not intuitive, then as you've got these new entrants coming in, then people, I presume, are then just not adopting the tool. They'll take a look at it, they won't be able to figure it out. You don't get training to use Amazon and Apple. You navigate around. But if you I guess have you got experience of seeing the impacts then of, I guess, people needing training and then not adopting the platform after that, the application after that?
It's one of the biggest issues from a CX perspective, is a lack of training. And clearly when you have turnover of staff as well, it's the maintaining and consistency of keeping people abreast of the functionality and what's required. So it's a key aspect to it that's often overlooked.
Great. So one of the themes I think of our session today has been the importance of user experience, and I think one of the things that can drive a reduction is the need for expensive training courses and repeat training courses for people coming in. Something else I wanted to go back to that picked up on, I think, was this misalignment, I guess, between the sales rep and sales management and what they're expecting out of a tool. I guess if there's a misalignment there, how do you think we can kind of close that misalignment between sales management and users of CRM CX applications?
For me, it's usually about the why. So why is this important? Why is the data quality important? And what the benefit to the individual is of, imagine a world where all of this data was pre-populated, where it was accurate, where it captured everything that your prospect or customer is trying to engage with you, that automates a forecast for you, as opposed to kind of a finger in the air. Imagine a world where all of that happens. What is your role in that, and what's the benefit for you? You can be more productive. You can spend more customer face time. You can do less admin tasks. And these are all kind of great phrases to use for salespeople, because that's what they're asking for. But they have a key role to play in that as well. They can't just sit back and just expect the CRM fairies to kind of, make that happen. So I think if you can explain the why and encourage people, then you're kind of halfway there.
Yeah.
And I think we're ready for next generation as well, right? I mean, AI is the hot topic at the moment, but we're trialing some technology that just records your meetings. Most meetings are done via Zoom, Teams, etc. today, and it's remarkably good. It summarizes the meeting, and you can upload that direct into your CRM system. If a salesperson starts to see that sort of data that they can leverage, and maybe the CX system can then suggest follow-up, case studies, timing, etc., it starts to assist them in their work. And that's when this will get really interesting. And people will want to log on in the morning, as Gavin says, because they'll want to know what they should be doing and be led somewhat by the application that they're using.
Yeah, I totally agree. So it's like for any group of users of any tool, what are they being tasked with day to day? What's their job, and how do we give them a tool that helps them do their job rather than is seen as an obstacle and something that's getting in the way of them actually going out selling?
Yeah, you could probably walk into 9 companies out of 10 and when is CRM updated? Well, it's Friday afternoon because it's seen as an admin task because Friday afternoons is when you do admin. And we've got to have, as an industry, and I think as leaders, but also with some of the tools that we use, we've just got to shift that perception. This is not an admin task. This is going to help you be more successful, more productive, removing admin tasks, not create more. But there's a lot on sales leadership as much as there is on sales executives to be able to do so.
Yeah, that leads me on to another question, another area I wanted to get your thoughts on. So, in your experience, do you feel that these CRM applications reporting capabilities provide the sort of useful insights that help sales professionals do their job, and I guess help sales leaders get insights and understand, pipeline, etc.?
No to the former and yes to the latter. And I think there are so many tools out there. You just do a quick search on Salesforce reporting, CRM reporting, it'll all come out. There's so many, right? But they're all specifically aimed at the management layer, not at anything from an individual perspective. There's many ways of dicing the information, bringing it back and presenting it, and that's what management want. But the actual individual contributors aren't getting anything that I can see.
I tend to look at this in 2 areas. So one is leading and lagging indicators. And I think, again, reporting, which is why kind of these tools tend to get a bit of a bad rap. That the reporting that's done is looking in that rearview mirror. It's what happened. And I'm kind of less interested in what happened, unless there's particular interesting insights that can be gained. I'm far more interested in the leading indicators. What I really want to get out of this is who's going to buy some stuff as new customers, which of our current customers are going to buy some more stuff, upsell, cross-sell, and then where is any risk that may exist that's going to prevent a customer from renewing, i.e. trying to identify things like churn or things like NPS score, which are a contributory factor to things like churn. And that's not just information that is captured by a manager or a rep. That's engagement data that then gets stored in this centralized system of record. So if I take an approach of that leading and lagging indicators, less interested in lagging, really interested in leading, and that the automation that can be driven out of a modern day system now, particularly making use of AI and large language models to drill out that information to give you a really high degree of accuracy, is it just takes all the legwork out and the pain of really trying to best guess or whatever formula you've got to come up with things like forecasts.
But these tools need good data, right? The garbage in, garbage out analogy's never been truer than in the world of generative AI, I guess.
Completely. And who's the best source of data? Actually, your prospect or customer. And if you can capture that at source, capture that first party, and make sure that's incorporated and it's got a high weighting, then that's, you're on the right road there.
I read a stat, I think 79% of information coming from customers never recorded. It's lost.
Yeah.
And much of that may not be useful, but I'm sure some of it is very useful. So we're not capturing the information we need to leverage better results. And that's at both the individual contributor and at management level.
Yeah. I can totally believe that from my experience as well. I guess just to sort of wrap up the conversation, I wondered if some of the themes that we've discussed today, do you feel in your current roles or your previous roles that, you know, one of the impacts can be, this is a very leading question, that you as leaders spend too much time on admin and internal facing things and less than you would prefer to be spending on, I guess, coaching your team, external strategy, market insights, etc.?
Yes. A simple answer.
Yeah, seconded. Yeah.
No, I think that there's a lot of information flowing around. Making use and sense of that is critical, but often it's very difficult because it's not structured data. It's come from different sources. It isn't accurate. It's not up to date. It's only there on Fridays. It's not there the rest of the week. It's not mobile data. So leveraging that can be a challenge at times. And I suspect on a weekly basis, I'm looking for some information that isn't quite correct. And I have to go and ask questions about that doesn't feel right. So, and that obviously takes me away from things that I think are more important. I want that data to be accurate at my fingertips and I can trust it. And wherever I've been, it's very, very rare you get that state.
But I think, and just to build on that statement then, Derren, I think come back to my Mark Twain quote about, you know, it's not what you don't know, it's that what you know for sure is just not so. Data's great and it gives you a lens into your business. And it's a really powerful lens, but it's not the only one. And I think don't lose from a sales leader perspective or even a sales exec, sales rep perspective, don't lose that element of, call it intuition or call it just experience, you know, layer the two on top. And you layer them on top to either reaffirm a particular point that data's given you or to be able to challenge the data to try and drive a better, more accurate outcome. And it's just not following, certainly for me, not following the data blindly.
Yeah.
By all means follow it, but give it a poke.
Fabulous. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Because we're coming to the end of our time together, and I've really appreciated your insights and your time. But yeah, if there's anything else that you wanted to add as a closing
I think
remark.
it's an interesting time for CX. There's a lot of new technologies surrounding the sales cycle and the sales process and methodologies, sales enablement. There's a lot of interesting, exciting, young technologies coming through that need to be adapted and adopted and integrated into your whole CX proposition. And I think that'll be an interesting place over the next couple of years. There's some great stuff. And if I was back selling, I think I'd love to be using some of these tools.
Completely agree. Absolutely.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Derren, Gavin, for joining me today. It's been fabulous. And wish you a good day.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.